Hello and welcome. I am Aziel, and it's 2025. It's the start of a new year, and well, wargaming and the industry itself is actually doing pretty well. It's growing. I can't complain. It's the fact is the hobby's getting bigger, and not just for Games Workshop. It's across the board. Every company's getting some stuff out and getting new fans. Great sign for the future of wargaming, which means that more and more people are going to play stuff from Mantic, Cradle, Warlord Games, Power Games, all the companies, not just Games Workshop. I'm not saying it's not a negative on Games Workshop. They are a gateway and people do go through them to get into the bigger hobby itself, which is, to be fair, a good thing. But what do we know about 2025 so far? Because some good things are going to be coming this year and things we're aware of. But however, what a stupid and ungrammatical sentence. Games Workshop, I've got to say, kind of started the year pretty poorly. This new Deathcore box, I'm not impressed. It's a fast army for an army which is basically Horde. Deathcore of Krieg are famous for being attritionists. They, sieged and all that. So having more horses than, just normal soldiers seems like a poor box for me. And let alone that the selection of choice of miniatures is basically a couple of men and just horses, also means there's not a vast variety of models. Yes, you get the Imperial Guard Codex as well, but still it's kind of a poor box, and it is kind of a poor start to the year for Games Workshop. Look, hopefully it gets better. We are going to get some Aldar stuff, and of course we can get some Emperor's Children stuff coming. So hopefully it's going to pick up, but we're going to have to see. War Cradle have done their roadmap for Armoured Clash last year, and it's really interesting. Enlightened is the next big army for Armoured Clash, and they've made a few design changes for the basic troop choices for the Enlightened, and I quite like this new look of these just almost automaton sort of people. We know that how the Enlightened like to put people and robots together, and they like to mess around with science and just fool around. But this new look of a basic troop choice has got me really excited, and I gotta say, I think War Cradle is going from strength to strength with Armoured Clash. I'm not a fan of painting the models, but the game is actually very, very good, and I'm really excited for more and more stuff. We've had the Union, we've had the Crown, we've had the Empire, now we've got the Enlightened, now we just need the Sultanate, the Alliance, and I think that's it. No, there's two more which I've completely forgotten. The Imperium, and I'm completely drawing a blank on the last one. I want to say Watchers, but it's not, because Watchers aren't in Armoured Clash. And I'm completely drawing a blank. Sorry about that. The Crown. No, I said the Crown. We had the Crown, the Empire, the Union, Enlightened's coming, Alliance, Imperium, the Sultanate, and I know I'm missing one, and I cannot just get it into my head, and I do apologise for that. So War Cradle's got some good stuff coming out. We'll probably see some more dystopian war stuff, that being their big flagship game. Excuse the pun. So I'm actually kind of excited for that now, and hopefully we're going to get some news on Wildest Exodus, who are going to be, there's going to be a big game of that happening at Adepticon, which is a great thing. Getting more eyes on the game in one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wargaming event of the year. And hopefully we'll see some nice new stuff coming from that too. And Mantic have been going strength to strength with their Kings of War, showing off some brand new models. They had some nice Goblin models announced at the end of last year with that plane. I didn't get the name of it, but it looks really cool, and it has that nice fun fantasy look to it. And of course, Halo, we're getting a second wave of miniatures for that, and they look very similar to the Halo Reach characters, which is kind of cool, to be honest with you. I quite like that. And of course, there's rumours of an Assassin's Creed game. So Mantic's doing really well. Firefight had a brand new army at the end of last year as well. So again, Mantic's getting strong, and they're showing off their muscle with brand new models, brand new armies, and brand new games, and getting really big IP such as Halo and Assassin's Creed to make models from. So I can see Mantic getting really strong. I've got to say this, I hope they don't go down the THQ route at the end of their life, which is basically just franchising and making games based on different IPs. I would love to see them expand Firefight more. I'd like to see them expand Kings of War more. These are great universes and great settings, and I would really like to see that. But it's all been gravy from Mantic, and Halo Flashpoint actually sold out, which is a great thing for a company as small as Mantic to do. Warlord Games have just released a brand new edition of Bolt Action. It's a fun game. I just have this thing about historical gaming, and it just doesn't click with me. The game is fun, the models are fun, and we've just had a brand new edition, so we can get some new models for that. And this is an exciting time for wargaming. I think 2025 is going to be a big year for wargaming as a whole, and I'm really excited for it. Judge Dredd is actually doing pretty well. Communities have been growing. Well, it's Judge Dredd, and Judge Dredd is a massive IP, and I like the game. And hopefully we're going to see some more stuff from that. We might not, but I hope we do. And of course, Conflict 47 is getting a new edition this year as well. Really exciting stuff coming from Warlord Games as well, and I'm really excited to see it happening. I'll probably go into Conflict 47 because whereas Bolt Action is a great game, don't get me wrong, the historical side of it kind of doesn't gel with me, but this science fiction alternate timeline of World War II, yeah, I can get into that, and some of the models I've seen for the previous editions look absolutely great, and seeing it again, Warlord Games having great advancements in their plastic with their newer models, I can't wait to see what this brings. Oh, before I forget about it, because I kind of skirted over it, I didn't actually mention it at all, Mantic are also releasing Warpath this year, part of the Firefight Drop Zone universe. It's an epic scale game, 10mm. It looks really good. They released the beta rules last year, and it plays pretty well based on that, and managed to get a couple of games in. I probably won't be getting it. I might get the rulebook for the lore, but as the game itself, I've learnt my lesson with 10mm scale. It's not fun for me to paint at all, and painting being the worst part of the hobby for me, I probably won't get into it, but it does look good and it does look exciting. Conquest, Wargaming Games, maybe getting 2 new factions. That's exciting. Great game again, and some amazing models we had at the end of last year. We had that new Quetzalcoatl, and the new Wadron stuff. They looked cool. We had some new dwarves, and some new. We had the Sorcerer's Kings. 100 Kingdoms getting new stuff at the end of last year. Really exciting times for Wargaming Games as well. Getting some really cool stuff in, and it is getting really exciting. And now we got a new competitor joining in. And if you're into anime, you probably already heard about this one. I've watched some Gundam. I've been watching the new series on Netflix, the CGI one. I quite enjoy it, but what's not to enjoy 2 robots smashing the hell out of each other? And of course, we got the new Gundam game coming as well this year. Looks exciting, the models look pretty good. I actually might give this one a go because it's not... Well, it is very small, but it's big models. It's basically like Battletech or Titanicus. It's using the big robots, the Gundams, or Gunpla. I don't know what they're called. I have watched it, and it is really good. I just don't get too intrigued into too many stories. I just like the big explosions. I'm very simple like that. So yes, we got a brand new competitor in now with the Gundam games, and it's looking good for everyone who wishes to play wargaming. Loads of ways of entry now, not just through Games Workshop. We have Halo and Gundam. Those are going to be ways of getting into wargaming via IPs that people love. And of course, the fact that every company which I've just mentioned is doing pretty well and just expanding with their better models, better plastics, everything's doing better. And that's it. Well, thank you very much. I am looking forward to 2025. I think it's going to be exciting for everyone, and I hope you all have a lovely day. And of course, there's links to Warlord Games down below if you wish to save up to 20% on your wargaming, and there's free delivery after £20. And there's also the point system, which I would say use because you get basically an extra 1% off. Can't argue with that. And you've got Forbidden Planet for comics, and if you're into Gundam, you can get Gundam stuff there as well. And I believe they do the models too, which are really cool, but they're kind of expensive in my opinion. Especially I know it sounds weird. It's all about building and not really painting, but they do look good. They do look good. And so there's also my merchandise, comics, stickers, t-shirts, those two links down below. Skyforge, never forget Skyforge because he's a good friend of mine. And finally, there is Patreon because business. Bye bye.